Right. So Katrina, who I just met, asked this question. You're on the air. You're live on Facebook.
Okay, so what is Jane in the Jungle all about?
The short story, and there's the long story. Which one do you want? So when I was in my 20s, I got involved in reevaluation counseling. I was really interested. I had gotten sober in AA. I was young. I was 24. I was like really alive and excited because I had spent many of my formative years very like unhappy, and I was on fire. I was like really ready to go in life, and so I had a trail of things that happened because my enthusiasm just led me to all these cool things. And the first one was when I turned 25, I got certified to teach in reevaluation counseling. And reevaluation counseling is a worldwide movement to end all forms of oppression on this planet. And I was just young enough to believe that that was possible. You know, I was like, well, okay. And sure enough, I'm now not young, and I still have this, you know, more than a thread of hope that it's possible. And inside of reevaluation counseling, they had every kind of theory on every single group that's oppressed. Elderly people, young children, of course, eliminating racism, eliminating sexism, the ones that you commonly hear about. And the idea in reevaluation counseling was that the outside oppression is not what's holding us up as much as the internalized oppression that's gone on for centuries, right? And so, also the other key idea inside of reevaluation counseling, the theory, they called it theory, is that women being half the population, okay, and women stretching across the universe, and every race, every culture, everything, every age as well. So, you know, older women all the way down to younger women, that when women actually eliminate their internalized women's oppression, that we will be unstoppable, or we are unstoppable at that point. And what women will do is cross our voice across the entire world, and we would be key because we're such a huge group to end all forms of oppression together, because women, we don't see the reason for having it anyway, most of us. And so that's the idea. And so then the other key thing was that you were encouraged inside of reevaluation to take on leadership in an area where you were most feeling that internalized oppression and free yourself from that in that area. So for me, being raised in the era that I was raised in, and by the woman I was raised in, and the socioeconomic that I was raised in, it was clear to me that I did not feel empowered as a person, much less a woman, and that it had a lot to do with the internalized women's oppression. So I took on leadership in the women's area of reevaluation counseling when I was 25 years old. 30 years later, and the other keynote thing about this is my mom, she was a housewife. And so she, you know, I would find her in the kitchen a lot. And she'd be like in the kitchen, and I'd be there, you know, her faithful follower, while she preached to me about how exciting it was going to be for my generation of women. And she was like, so excited, you know. Hey, Kimberly, is like your generation of women is gonna have it so great, and y'all are gonna be so empowered. And along with that speech came the just don't get pregnant too young and all that kind of stuff. Hey, honey. And so we're live on Facebook, just briefly, yes, and then we're gonna do our banner. And so that's how Jane in the Jungle got started, was that's the roots of Jane.